Hey guys, welcome to class. Today we're going to go over the suit of swords, okay? So swords is the element of air. That's so important for you guys, okay? It's the element of air. It's our mind, okay? But think of it this way, okay? Like this is a really good quote that I thought was like awesome. It's like, don't leave home without your sword, your intellect. Don't leave home without your sword. You know, it's like, don't rush anywhere. Like, don't forget, like, you know, they say, like, did you leave your head at home, right? Did you leave your sword at home? It's your intellect. Mm-hmm. So our intellect, how we think, follows with what we say. So a lot of times our sword is also, we can cut. We can literally cut someone with our words because of how we think, right? A sharp mind has a sharp tongue. Mm-hmm. Okay, so all these cards are based on thinking. Okay, it's based on our intellect. It's based on our discernment. It's based of the powers of the mind. It's also about darker emotions, because you know, when our mind controls us, what are we doing? It's self-sabotaging, right? Those are dark emotions, right? And being able to have discernment. Okay, what is real and what is not? Our heart is, you know, real and loving, right? But our mind can control us. So make sure the darker emotions come from our mind, okay? And it's like, because our mind is so powerful, it's a prophecy. It's being able to see clearly and have sight as well. The elemental beings that you'll notice in many of the decks are going to be fairies, because they're the element of air. They have wings, anything that flies, a hawk as well. Dragonflies. They even have like different herbs, you guys, will also kind of connect to the air as well. So we have different like flowers that we're going to be using, and you'll see them sometimes in the actual deck of cards. If it's one of the traditional ones, they have herbs in there because it's connected to like healing. You can use these things to help you, like lavender relaxes the mind, right? And you'll see a lot of lavender like flowers within like these decks, sometimes mistletoe too. Mistletoe will also calms the mind. Lily of the valley as well. And in a lot of these, like in the cards, you'll notice a lot of high landscapes, high mountains, right? Tall trees, because it's in the air, a lot of clouds. And so that's one of the things you really need to have vision about. It's like, everything's high, it's up. And then of course the signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And these three are mental stimulators. And they're really smart. Some of them don't realize how smart they are, but they're very quick-witted. They're very witty, very witty. That's an automatic thing when it comes to Aquarius, is they're quiet. Even Libras and Geminis are quiet, but you get them talking, you're like, where did this come from? All here, okay? Now, usually these people that are those signs, or even the ones that like this, like the swords, you know, suit, is they have like brown hair, they have green, gray, or hazel eyes. And they're like the planners, they're the shrewd organizers. So I can imagine like a Virgo and a freaking like Aquarius together, or a Virgo and a Libra and a Virgo and a Gemini. Oh, hell is gonna break.
Wait.
It is gonna break loose like no other, okay?
Can I say something? The guy that I'm talking to is a Gemini.
Oh, Lord, baby Jesus. Oof.
Is she a Virgo also? Are you a
Yeah,
Virgo?
I'm a Virgo.
Mm-hmm. When is your birthday?
August 27.
Oh, that's cool. Mine's September 16.
Oh, nice.
So Angelica is a cusp of Leo, Virgo. You're like in the cusp part of it. And then Kim, you're like a true Virgo. Oh, as true as can be. And you can tell by Angelica too, like she's cusping, just because the Leos are very like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Dramatic. Dramatic.
I like that better.
You know, I'm like, we're like, oh my God, like not me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how it is. Why? Because I have a Leo moon, so I know. It's like that's how it comes down. Okay, so first card, ladies, let's pick out Ace of Swords. Ooh, what is that?
Here's my Ace of Swords.
Okay, I like that. Let's see yours, Kim. Oof.
Here's mine.
Yep. You see, it's got mistletoe. It looks like on yours, and then like a wing on one side. And look at mine.
Oh, yeah. That's amazing.
So they're all pretty like similar, right? There's that sword, okay? The one sword. And so when you get there, it's where it's telling you this card represents where the person you're reading for has gone through a lot, has had a lot of obstacles, okay? But they're gonna get through it. This card says you're gonna get through it. You're going to see, you're already at the top of the mountain, you're now climbing down. So you've already gone through the rough patch, which is why a lot of times you'll see that mountain and that one sword. It's like right here, like it's right here, like I got it. And he's still, or she is still standing, and that sword is still up. I mean, there's still that strength within that person to persevere. Okay. It's like the card of like, this is the main card of heroism, intellect. Like you're going to get through this, you just won a battle, and it's an important lesson that you have to learn during this time frame. Is you have to change the way that you think now, because all that mess that you went through, all those challenges that went through, you don't want to repeat them again, right? So this card comes up, you tell the reader, okay, you went through a lot, and you're probably thinking, is there more coming? You know what I mean? Or am I done? Well, you're done as long as you change the way you handle things. As long as you change the way that you look at life, you change the way that you think, your behaviors, your reactions. It's so much deeper. It's like it's done. Like, remind them, do you want to go through that shit again? No. Okay, then this is how it's going to change now moving forward. Okay. And it's kind of like they're like wild card. Okay, right here now. It's up to you. They have that key to their own destiny. Are they going to continue, right, and start back again, right? Or are they going to finally just stop and take their time, have patience, right? And then really look at their life and say, what do I need to change? And what do I need to stop, repeating? And I'm pretty sure that person that when this card comes up has probably had those like same toxic relationships, same repeating cycles. And they're like, why does this keep happening to me over and over again? Well, you're doing things the same way, right? You're allowing people to, either manipulate you or deceive you when this person is very intelligent, but why are they adapting, right? There's a lot more there that will tell you. And the hawk is keen. The hawk flies up and sees things. So this person probably already knew what was going to happen, but they were still in it. Why? Okay. When it is reversed, you guys, that means that they're confused, that they really generally don't even know what the hell that they did wrong. That's because their mind is shut. Like they're not seeing things for what it is. They have the currents are still there. The blinds are still shut, and they're not wanting to realize, what is happening. They don't.
They're just playing. They're just getting sympathy and see if that'll keep going. And this card says that's enough. You either do this or you do that.
Yep. Yeah. Or you just, start adapting to these challenges, and you continue in that victim mentality where poor me. No, there is no poor you anymore. It's done. Like either you shape up and you find balance in your life, right? Or you just keep paying the price for it. Okay. Let me see real quick here. I was going to show you guys something.
Do you do more than one set of tarot cards all mixed together?
Oh, no.
They're all separate. You keep them separate.
Yep.
Okay.
I do. I keep my all like in a box, you know, but they're all separated by their books. I don't ever mix my tarot together. I just don't feel like
So you keep all four of these separate and then or do you just stack them all together?
no. So like, so I've got a few, like my Neo Tarot are still in their like in their boxes, right? But I have all their boxes. So this is how I put mine. It's just like kind of like a picture box from like Michael's. That way it's easy access when I go somewhere, when I have a reading, I could just pull from here. But like they're all like, the oracles are together, and I have my tarot, but they're all separated by their own book.
Okay,
Okay. It's just
yeah,
that way.
because I heard about you should make a special spot or put your things, keep them in the same place, like an altar kind of a thing, sort of.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I keep all in the same place. I keep all my divinity things with divinity all in one area. And so I have a couple altars, but I have one, you know, that I keep mainly, and then I can put the tarot under it. But my whole bedroom is divinity, so you know it doesn't really matter. And it just, as long as your energy, you balance out your energy. I've got my rocks and my crystals, you know, and I've got like
So you recommend putting rocks in there?
Oh yeah, yes. When you have an altar, you have to make sure that you incorporate all elements.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, like the chalice for the cups, right? I have like a dagger, you know, for my sword. I have like my rocks and stones, you know, for the element, or I could put plants on there too. I've got, you know, candles for fire. Or my cauldron, I got one of those too. Same thing, it represents it. So as long as you have that on there, you are good to go. It's learning that as well. Yeah. And I always have like something on there because it all protects it, but you just make sure you activate it by saying, this is my altar and it's going to protect me. It's going to protect everything on here, and I'm going to instill this energy and power within it. And you shift it. Like mine has, I engraved the tree of life in it, so it's my energy in it, you know.
Yeah,
And it's like it's old and I had to like sand it down, so it's my energy of making it, of refurbishing it, you know, to make it become more of me. So you kind of start, and it's like there's no right or wrong way, Kim. It's just following your own intuition, right? Like, what do I want out of this? How do I want to decorate? People decorate all different ways. Like I said, I have two, and then I created one for my ancestors too. So I got one for my ancestors as well. Yeah, some people have four, one in every corner of their bedroom or their room, wherever they keep most of it. Yeah, they have four. So it's really up to them.
I think our house is pretty small and I'm pretty much the loud one in the house. You can't imagine that, but
No, never.
I think that the cards, I feel like the cards are like coming alive in what I see. Now that we've been talking about this stuff and the different symbols, then you go, oh, what do you see and how do you feel about that? And then I compared it to the book and I was right on track. So that was a good feeling.
Yes. And what's cool is that when you like talk with people, especially with other people that are spiritual, you're like, I feel like I'm in the full phase. They get you. Yep. Or I feel like I'm in a tower moment. Oh yes. You know what I mean? And that's just neat because now you're using a different language. Instead of having to talk about like 20, 30 minutes of your life. No, you're like, I feel I'm in the tower moment. And they're like, oh yeah, I get it. You have to say, right? Oh, you have to say. You don't have to like elaborate. No, they get you. Why? Because they've been there. They've been there.
Yeah.
And like, oh yeah. So, and that's what's cool. It's like, ooh, like you feel kind of like, you know, like you bond with people because they understand where you're coming from. Now, I was going to show you this one thing because I have my other deck too. That this is also what my other one looks like as an Ace of Swords. See? So they're all like pretty much the same, but even though they're both of my decks are like this, the same, like triple moon goddess, they still vary differently.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very cool.
But the message behind them is still the same, you know. It's still the same. Okay. Now, next, let's look at your guys' Two of Swords.
Here's my Two of Swords.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep.
Her swords are bad.
I felt that. Okay,
Like,
here's mine.
oh my gosh, I love that. It's a real warrior on your cards.
Oh yeah, and then look at this one.
Oh, wow.
That is amazing.
Oh yeah, like, oof, yeah. Let's see yours. What's yours, Kim?
Here's mine.
Yep. See, very much similar to mine. They're just
Mhm.
that traditional, type of like images, right? From the get-go, which mine falls very, very traditional based. And then I have this one that just adds more of her flavor to it, okay? Which is why I like her. Because all the time it depends on how we see ourselves, okay? So for the Two of Swords, oh, the way that she holds it, and even like with Angelica's, how they're kind of like clashing each other.
Yeah.
Anytime you have swords, and even with our girl, she's crossed, right?
Right.
And on mine, the other one, her legs are crossed. Something's always crossed, okay? When something's
Uh-huh.
crossed, that means that you're blocked. You're
Oh,
blocking. You're blocking yourself, okay? So you're blocking your emotions. That card stands for you are blocking your emotions. So in the other deck, besides Angelica's, like there's water behind her. Okay, if you notice that there's water behind her, that means her back is facing the water. Water stands for what? Emotions. So whoever this card's coming up, it's like they have gone through such emotional pain that they have numbed themselves. For now, they have blocked themselves. They don't want to know.
wow.
Because can you imagine someone that's blindfolded? You know that they're aware. They're aware. They don't need to see. They don't need to see. They know their surroundings. They know how to deal with things, and they're very confident that they're willing to blindfold themselves, and they're ready. They're ready to have a sharp tongue with a sharp intellect. They don't need to see. So she's very much in her mind, right, and not in her heart. So she's closing off her heart. And it's like they're literally refusing to feel. Like, no, because they're in that warrior stance. Even though like mine, like she's open like mine, and she's trying to surrender. She's looking up and there's that light. She's surrendering, like, help me. But is she really truly ready to feel?
Is your water behind yours?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's actually snow, and it's very dark. It's dark and there's snow.
Oh.
So you can see footprints, which means that means her dark emotions are taking advantage of her instead of her. Remember, the weather comes through darker when it's night and it's like foggy and wintry. It's our darker emotions. I mean, she's self-sabotaging and she's trying to surrender her dark emotions, but she's not ready to feel the difference. There's so much emotional pain going on, okay? And it's that confusion. Your heart says one thing and it wants to say, but your mind's like, nope. That's what it is. It doesn't matter how smart you are, how smart you think you are. You have to feel, you have to allow to release, or you're blocking yourself, right? From receiving, from healing. And if you don't heal, then you're stuck and you do it to yourself. So this person is like stuck. So it's like, I just had to, they have to understand that this is part of it, but they cannot block themselves. They have to leave themselves open. Our heart has to remain open for us to continue in our journey. Knowing that they're safe, even though it hurts, they're still safe, and they're safe. They're in a safe place where they can release those emotions, and that's okay. Whether it's at home by themselves, release them. It doesn't matter. Just let them go, right? So it's about it's a lot about their boundaries were very unhealthy. They didn't set them good. Okay, they just allowed themselves to be, I guess, hurt. They left themselves wide open, right? So when it's in reverse, it's like they're being forced to suppress their emotions. Like something or somebody is not allowing them to express themselves. When it's in reverse, there's conflict. So they might be maybe in a toxic relationship when it's in reverse. Okay. And so they feel like they're not able to, or there's maybe there's also being surrounded by people that are not supportive, right? And they're not able to express their emotions or their concerns at all without maybe being, laughed at or being judged. That's when that card comes into reverse. Okay.
What about the moon on this card? What would the moon mean on this?
The moon that is a crescent moon. So,
Yeah.
and it is a waning. So when it starts from the full moon, okay, so you're looking at, it's a new moon. New moon turns into a full moon. Okay. So when it's turning into a full moon, that means that there's new beginnings. And right there at the beginning of a relationship, that's when they started suppressing their emotions. So too quickly, they were blocking themselves. And so it's really good to know the cycles like of the moon.
Moon cycles.
Yep.
Wow.
Because then that way you can get very specific, right? A little more specific with that if there is that moon in there. It's being able to kind of explain to people what this means, right? Like with my card, there's 2 fairies on my card hanging on the side, which means that the spirit has her back. There's elementals that are protecting them, right? That are giving her guidance. And so she knows, which is why it's like she's got her back, towards it. She knows that she's protected, but it's like when she's ready, she's gonna open up her heart. And that's her. Mine has like fairies on the side of mine, and then lavender as well. See, the fairies are like here.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
So also,
Wow.
like, when you see this, even though, like the air sign, it can be someone that's, like a Gemini, Libra and Aquarius, that's actually maybe bothering you, or that's maybe involved, or maybe that person is that sign as well. But that lavender is what they need to allow their mind to relax and not control them.
I just got another incense, all lavender. I have a lavender candle, and I can't even, you just said that and we were going, oh my gosh, we just got that.
It's beautiful. Yes. Like it's such a beautiful one to use. And even today, I used lavender today, it wasn't oil. So a lot of times, like it's that time where it's like you need to just shut the mind down. Okay. Let's see your guys' 3 of Swords.
Here is mine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Pierce
wow.
everywhere. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And then here's mine.
Oh, and you have a fairy.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oof. Yep.
I don't think the fairies look as cute as that though.
Oh, some fairies are really beautiful. Some are. They really are. It just depends. I love my fairies. They just depend. Like elves, I think they're beautiful too. Like, I don't know. When I think of elves, I think of the Lord of the Rings, and I'm like, I got ears. I got ears too, ladies. I got ears, elf ears, just so you know.
Oh.
Are you gonna show us if you're true?
Oh my goodness. I'm trying to think where I have they hold on. I love them. They're cool. Right. I think I wanted to be like a queen elf one year, and my ex-friend was like, "Oh my gosh!" So look, see their little ears, and
Oh,
like you put them. I think you go this way. Yeah, this way. Yeah, something like.
I like it.
It's kind of funny. I think it maybe goes this way. I think if I know. I did put them on though, and I was like, "Ooh, this is cool."
Yeah. Very fun.
And so, like, people that are very into like elementals, see, look at that. They wear these at some of these events. Like I went to like a very witchy event, and then I saw a lady wearing these elves, and I was like, oh my god, I should have worn mine too, right? And then she actually put earrings through them, and I was like, ooh, that's an idea. So I might pierce them up here.
That is adorable. It is adorable.
And like it brings a whole other character. I need like one of those like little like crowns that go here, you know?
Oh, yes.
Yes. I like to dress up. Okay. This is my three of, okay, Kim, let's yours, your three of swords. I'm like,
It's very similar, but
yeah.
I don't have anything but clouds above and rain.
Yes. Okay. And then look at this three of swords here.
It's beautiful.
Okay. So it's like the three of swords is general, and this one's more about healing. It's literally, it's what it is. The person that's having this red, it represents like emotional pain, like severe emotional pain. This is like you're broken, like you are broken, like this, it just like there's no, we can't even be gentle. You have three swords piercing your heart. Not only is your mind, you know, also probably just kind of just got like slapped in the face by what just happened, but your heart is feeling it. And it is like, so it's time to heal. This card says like you honor them, like this is rough, this is tough. Like I get that you've been through a lot, you know, because that heart. And then because of it being cloudy and like rainy, it's a rainy day for them. It feels that way. It feels like it's just like a cloud is over them, and they're just they're crying and crying and crying.
Did I say something?
Yes.
For the past 3 weeks or so, the Three of Swords have been always popping up on my tarot readings for me.
Yep. You're self-sabotaging and you're causing yourself pain. And that's what happens. Like we, like I was telling John Hennig, I was like, you know, we self-sabotage and we already think of an outcome. We already play it. Like, especially when you're in that dating relationship, like when you're really starting to date, you know, and things are going good, and then you hear something and then it triggers you and you're like, oh, it's over. Like you literally can see it happening. Like in our mind, we're creating a story of how it's going to end and what's going to happen. And then we're already worked up and then we're crying before nothing ever breaks up. We're crying. We're already crying. Like we're really feeling it. Right.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. We do this to ourselves. We do this to ourselves. And it sucks. I can tell with personal experience, I don't know how many times I've done it to myself. And I'm like, and then like a day later, I get the message, like everything's good. And I'm over here like, why do I do this to myself? I just listened to like the sad song like 100 times. Like, why? And it's because like, we're so emotional. We're so our heart is so big. And because we don't always give, we're not always giving our heart. So we give someone a chance and we're already self-sabotaging because we're thinking it's going to happen to us again, right? They're going to abandon us. They're going to leave us. They're not going to like us. And oh, we start crying and hurting, and it's like a waste of energy.
It's hard to be open and trust somebody. So of course you got these swords ready to just take care of business, but to yourself.
Yes, it's like, hey, let me do it to me before they do it to me, right? Because right now, like I'm feeling it and they're hurting me. It's like, let's just hurt myself and feel it.
I was reading the birth chart that you gave for me, and one of the things about me, I didn't like admitting, but that I test people. I test them, especially like my husband in the beginning, you know. The other two marriages there was no trust whatsoever. So, you know, but believing in good and seeing good isn't always good. But
yeah,
but you
we do test them. I test mine too. Like I'll make a comment, waiting to kind of see if they're gonna be like, and it's like, shit, I just tested somebody, you know what I mean? And it's old behaviors, and I'm like, that wasn't good. That wasn't good, right? And then
I immediately walk right back in there. That is not me. That is old me, and that is not me. And I think that has kind of been a good practice to face what you just felt, and then I don't feel it anymore.
yes. Oh, and to be aware, and that's why I tell Angelica, this is personal experience, because do not put yourself to that shit, because I went through it. Like I know, you know what I mean? And it's like, do not, like our mind is awful. And then because us as women, we know our faults, right? We can look at somewhere and say, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, right? We know it. So then like when something's not working our way, or maybe it's not how we want it to play out, the first thing we do is start saying, well, because you're this and you're this and you're this. I mean, who the hell's gonna fucking want you in the first place, right? And we start playing that in our head, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's awful. Like, we are the worst people to ourselves. Look in the mirror and be like, well, you're this and you're that. Like, oh my God, I'm so mean to myself. Like, well, yes. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we literally are the worst people to ourselves. We don't believe people when they tell us you're this, you're that. You're like,
Yeah.
no, I still don't. You know what I mean? Like, it takes a while until you build that confidence, but I'm like, don't do that to yourself because it drains you. It drains you and it ruins your whole day.
And it goes nowhere.
And it lingers. It lingers, and you're kind of like,
it's on your back. You just carry it.
And you're like, ew. You're like, you're just so. Like, don't be anymore. Snap out of it. Right?
That's funny.
It's like, ah. So when it is in the reverse, that means that this person is out for revenge based on this heartbreak. Okay, it's destruction. Like, they're like not even wanting to heal, not even wanting to figure out, okay, it's all their fault. Like, it's always like when it's in reverse, it's like their fault. Like, and they're pissed off and they're trying to get back. They're trying to get even for feeling that. And that's when a lot of, like, I noticed a lot of the young crowd, even my daughter, will start posting stuff on like social media, or like on Twitter or on Snap, on Snap or like on TikTok. And I'm like, oh, I'm so happy they didn't have any of that shit when I was younger, because, oh Lord, baby Jesus, I would make a fool of myself too. But they're reactive, right? They're very reactive, and they're like, and then like videos and this, and I'm always like, oh, she's on a roll. Oh, she's on one. What happened? You know what I mean? And that's her way of coping with her emotions, And I'm like, you realize that a month later, you're gonna be talking to her again, or 2 weeks later, and all this doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. You have to accept that little child in you that threw a tantrum in public, literally.
That's wild.
Right? And so it's like we have to learn to. This card comes up. It's like there's no point in throwing tantrums. You can't change it. It's not going to change anything at all. It's like you might think that you make yourself feel better by maybe saying something or getting back at that person, but that person is going on with their life like nothing, and they probably don't even know that this video was for them unless you literally put their name on there, right? They don't know. They're like,
that was such a true statement. Oh my.
Yeah, but you're over here still like, and they're like, nah. It's like, so who's the one that's getting hurt again? You are. You're doing it to yourself again.
Yes.
You're stabbing. You're like, and it's like, what for? Why do you keep stabbing yourself? Like, stop. Yeah. It's awful. That's what I'm saying. Like, we have a sharp tongue, sharp mind, and a sharp tongue, and it's usually to ourselves.
Always.
Never. It's us that suffer. It's us, and after we're done.
But not anymore. I'm not going to take it anymore for myself.
But I know it's like we have to say stop or become more aware and catch it quicker before we go down that depression, right? And then we're over here like, I can't even look at yourself in the mirror because you just feel awful, about yourself. And then some people end up getting upset with themselves because of how they acted or how they reacted. So there goes some more emotional cycles happening. It's like, shit, right? So it never ends. Like, just stop, and don't even feed into it. Just take it, accept it, honor it, and cry and scream.
I'm just going to tell you that your grandpa's on the wall next to you, blowing a kissy face at you, and he's doing this to his heart, like, yeah. He's always hanging out. I just can't believe him. He's funny.
If I thinking, here she goes again, she's on her round.
That's my girl. That's what he's thinking.
Oh my goodness. That's too awesome. Oh, I love it. Oh, I get chills. Whew. Okay. 4 of Swords.
Here's mine.
Oh, wow. Look at all that hair. And look, all those swords, all those blades. Those blades?
That's blades.
Yeah, they're like blades.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, let's see. This one's mine.
Oh, you know what? I love those cards. You have to tell me the name of those cards.
Okay. Well, they're what the heck, Mary? Oh, they're the Witch's Tarot.
Which? Okay.
Okay. Let's see your Four of Swords, Kim.
Looks like somebody died. Everybody's outside, but he's laying there and there's swords above him.
Oh. Okay. So same concept, but just a little bit deeper. Okay. So Angelica is like, she's got the swords down. That means that she is like feels like she's surrendering, like she's tired because of just of how much she's been hurt, backstabbed, mentally, like, you know, beat up. Okay, which is what she's been thinking. She's like, I've had to fight all these different things in my life, or just maybe recently, and I'm just like done. Right? She's standing, and it's like, who's next? There's still some power and still strength in there, but not really. And mine looks like, even though she's exhausted, she's still trying her best. Look at her. She looks so freaking tired.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and look at all those swords. So she's had to do a lot, but she's still gonna like defend herself. She's still going to, you know, do what she needs to do. But this is a card that says you need to like rest. You need to finally do some self-care, because you cannot be running yourself that ragged. You can't do it all. You know, you can't do everything. And Kim, yours literally ran himself ragged to death. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where you can look at it like this. When you read this, it's like you're burning your candle from both ends. Like, stop. You know, because it's like they're going and going and going, because the sword is, you cut with your tongue and you cut with your mind. It's like they're going and they're trying to like take care of business. They're trying to take care of everything, right? And they're like very valiant. Well, I can do this. I got this, right? But this card shows it's like you're literally like killing yourself slowly. It's what's happening. You know, you're not taking care of yourself. You're trying to take care of everything, and you're getting very very feisty. You know, you're just wanting to just battle with everybody. It's like, stop doing it, because they're not taking care of themselves. You know, like yours is already in a freaking coffin. Mine's over there ragged, and Angelica's over there like just standing like, can I even do this anymore?
Yeah.
You know? And see, and here's my other one. Look at this. She's literally like at a grave and giving somebody like flowers. See?
Yeah.
So when this card comes up, it's like, stop. Stop. You are killing yourself. You are literally like, I always get the message, your candle is burning from both ends. Like, stop. It's time for you to replenish and to rest. When this card comes up, it's where we tell our client, this card means it's time for you to rest. That means that you've been battling too many things with too many people, too many situations. We're done. If you don't take care of yourself and really put yourself first and choose you, you're going to end up 6 feet under. Crazy. That's what it is. Like, we can only handle so much, right? Could only handle so much. And sometimes you will probably be able to look at them and notice that they look tired.
Oh, right.
Just by looking at them.
Yeah.
How, like, you know, there's darkness under their eyes. Maybe they haven't had their hair done for a while. You know what I mean?
Eyebrows pulled down.
Yeah, exactly. You know, where there's no energy, there's no like fire within them. And you're able to tell that quickly because their eyes too. It's gonna look like as if their soul is just exhausted. So there's no sparkle in their eyes as well. When they run themselves ragged, and we've all run ourselves ragged, right? Whether we're on vacation, we're go, right? We're like, I'm gonna keep going. Whether we're at home trying to tend to things, even when we had kids, we were doing because we had to, right? We had to do it. We couldn't rest. Even if we were slightly ahead of flu, we needed to make sure our kids were fine. So that's an example of running ourselves ragged, or jobs, working so many jobs, so many hours, and you're not like making it still. you're done. Like, do something different. Ask for help.
Mhm.
You know, ask for help when this comes up. In reverse, it just means that you're just feel like rejected, and you're literally like completely exhausted. So it's like everything that you're doing, you keep hitting a block. You keep getting rejected by things. Nothing's going well if it's in reverse.
So the first part would be about self-care is the whole thing about the card. And if it was reversed, you're not listening to anybody. You're
Yes.
just, you're gonna go on like that.
Correct. And it's really important to let the person know that they're running themselves ragged. You know, it's like they're doing so much.
Mhm.
And like I said, when you start like tapping into them, you'll see that in their face, you'll see that in their demeanor, you'll feel that from them.
Right.
You know, and sometimes people do readings because they're exhausted. They don't know what else to do. They want guidance, you know. And that's most of the time that people will ask for readings because they don't know. Or they
Mhm.
do know, but it's like they need someone to kind of unveil and open up those blinds and say, first of all, this stops. This was happening to you. And that's how you're going to start be able to see. Because once you rest and we replenish ourselves, we have the clarity, right? And we have energy to see everything for what it is.
Your grandma and grandpa are sitting on the couch together, and I'm telling you, it's really hard to concentrate because they're so darn cute over there. They're in your corner.
Oh,
I'm sorry, but there's like a movie show behind you. I'm trying hard to listen.
probably the freaking Western because they like my grandpa loved Westerns. Oh my gosh.
I just
Like,
turned off one.
they oh my gosh, like we knew it was a Western. Here we go. The Western. Oh, love it. Okay, let's do the Five of Swords, and that will be our last one for tonight, okay? Five of Swords.
Here is mine.
That is so cool. It is so you.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah.
beautiful? Yes.
Yeah.
Like, oof. Yep. Here's mine.
Oh, that is a fan.
Look at them all there. Yep. Wow. And they're pointing to the dragonfly, if you notice that too. Okay.
Oh.
There's Kim.
Here's mine.
That's your Five of Swords?
Yeah. Five of Swords.
Oh, wow. Okay. Like it's like walking away from something. Here's my other one, just so you guys see that one. It's my other one.
Sorry.
So it's like
Interesting.
the truth. Yes. Yes. So it's like
No.
it's you're literally like when this card comes up, it's a lot about trickery. It's trickery, I should say. It's like the card, like it's being revealed. Someone's being deceptive, and you're now seeing the deception. Okay, you're seeing, the trickery, the illusion. Something like maybe happened where like you're embarrassed.
Geez,
Oh,
sorry.
you're fine. You're fine. It's like where they're defeated. All swords were pointed at that person. They're like they got put in a pickle, and they might be a little bit humiliated, but they're still in control. They're still in control of the outcome. They're still in control of it. Like, and there's people like when I see these cards to be intuitive, the cards a lot of will say you're not alone. Like with Kim, yours, he saw the people, right? He saw how much it affected him, and he now is aware of who has been involved in this trickery and this deception. And this maybe like bullying at work, maybe it was with a partner or family, whoever, like he saw that they were just like making fun of him or her.
See, I
Okay.
don't understand my card very well, though. There's swords that are laying on the ground, and I know maybe he confronted the person, and both of them are walking away,
Mm-hmm.
but he's still standing there like,
Guarded. He's
Guarded.
guarded. He's guarded. He doesn't trust them still. Okay. Even though like he defeated them and they're walking away and their swords are right next to him, he's still turning around and he's like, like these people, even without their swords, he knows that they can still be attacked. They can still attack him. And that's what it is. It's like this card comes up, even though they were defeated and he was humiliated, he's still standing on guard. And that's the message to the person. You still need to watch out for things. You still need to protect yourself. You know, just because you think it's over, it really isn't over. You have to stay guarded a little bit longer, just so they know that they can't do this to you again, right?
yeah, because he is, and it looks like it was maybe with all the black cards, must have been pretty hard on everybody for him to face that.
Yep.
And he is standing there looking like, I don't trust you. I still don't trust you. I'm gonna protect myself.
Correct. And then you'll also be able to let them know, like, this is a time to like bring in new people into their life. Find people that are really, you know, that really truly care for you and that truly are going to support you, right? And that have your back, that are going to celebrate, you know, when there's good things for you, and not try to like bring you down, or you know, try to make you feel like you're less than, or you think that you're too good because now you got a promotion or something, right? Or now because you married the love of your life. You know, there's some people out there that are going to be those negative Nancy's, right? They're just going to try to take you down because their life isn't good. And that's what I feel is happening. So it's like when it's in reverse, it's they're holding grudges. They're holding grudges about what happened to them, right? They are probably maybe in a controlling relationship where they can't confront the person, you know, with fear of it getting worse for them. Okay. Because like, if you know, like with my card, like they're both like truths. They both got their six down and their swords down, and they're equal. So they have talked about it, like, you know, yes, the bad part's done. Now let's move forward. You see that? And so when that happens too, and the same thing, like with this dragonfly, when they're all pointing to the dragonfly, it's like they know who hurt them. They know that, but they also have backup. They're protected. The fairies are there protecting them. So it's like, okay, you know, let's move forward. The whole point of this, just because someone deceives you and maybe misleads, it doesn't mean that you need to like hold a grudge. You know, we just let it go. It's done. Okay, we handled it. We, you know, unveiled it. We dealt with it. It's over. We don't carry it. We don't linger with us for the next few days. Like we don't allow what happened to hurt us, because if we hold grudges and anger, we're only hurting ourselves. You know? So it's like this card comes up. It says, okay, like I get you're going through some stuff, like you found out someone was deceptive, you know, or was deceiving you, but let it go. Karma will handle it. The universe will handle it. God will handle it. Let it go. It's not worth it for you to sit in this, you know, and just move forward and attract better people, right? You know, become more aware and not just be so like so naive. Don't be naive anymore, you know?
And can't not know what you know.
Yeah. Yes. It's because of experience, we might take a little bit longer to warm up to somebody, right? But that's okay. You know, the warming up is okay. It's just long as we don't like completely distance ourselves or we walk the other way just because something feels a little odd because we're not used to, you know, being loved or being supported, that we think that's odd. It's different that way, you know? It makes a really big difference when you go that route.
And the other thing I was thinking about on my cards, like this one has green, the outfit is all green. And I'm thinking that the color must have to stand for something that has to do with this card.
Yes. So the green is for your heart chakra, which means that they, either hurt them, and the red is for your root chakra. That means they messed up their stability. Your root chakra is your stability. So if those colors come in, it's like they affected his way of life. Okay. It's like our foundation, right? We build a foundation before we build a house on top of it. And they affected his foundation. So whatever he did to get things, going for him and to get himself feeling solid and stable, they were in there and kind of shook it up.
Yeah.
Which entails it's going to affect his heart, because it's like all that I put into this, you know what I mean? Or whether they put in their heart, or sweat, and you just did this to me. And it's piercing. It's piercing. I'm gonna adjust my ears.
I think that's so cute. I dare you to go to the store like that, but you would, so I don't have anything.
I'm like, hey.
If you wore little wings, they might think you are Tinkerbell.
I know they'd be like, oh my gosh, like I don't got wings, but I am looking for some wings. Okay, that'd be fun. Okay, ladies, anything for me? Any questions for me?
No, I don't.
Nope. Okay. So we'll see you guys next week on that. Have a great night. Okay.
Thank you. We love you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.